Welcome to Trader UK, where I discuss everything that's happening in the stock market. If you're new to trading or you're looking to start trading from home, I highly recommend that you subscribe below for daily updates where I'll be sharing my experiences, good and bad, in the market. Now, today I want to discuss why I'm buying not one, not two, but three cruise line stocks right now. And if you have been paying any attention to the market recently, you may well think that this is absolutely crazy, but stick with me until the end and I'm going to explain to you just why I'm doing that. Now, before I go ahead and get into each individual stock, I just want to have a quick look at the overall market for the cruise industry. Looking at this, and I mean, if you go and do your own research, which I always suggest everyone should go and do their own research, you can see that the numbers overall are increasing year on year for about the last 10 years. Most likely longer than that, the numbers have been on the up. So it's a bit of a boom industry and a growth market. I also want to point out that the entire industry, or 80% of the industry, is controlled by three companies. Okay, and we're going to take a little look at those companies. And the first of these companies, Carnival Corp, CCL, traded on the New York Stock Exchange. Highs this year, or highs recently, 55, mid 50s, easily high 40s, and currently trading 797. The second of these cruise giants, Norwegian Cruise Line Holdings, NCLH, again traded at the New York Stock Exchange. Recent highs 59.65 a share, constantly trading in the mid 50s, now trading at 8.40 a share. And the final of the three, Royal Caribbean Cruises Limited, RCL, again on the New York Stock Exchange. Highs recently 135.05, currently trading 24.82 per share. Those make up our three companies that control 80% of the cruise market. Here I've just pulled all the numbers together for the three companies that I mentioned. I've put in the 6-month high, nothing too elaborate, the current price, and then assuming that things were to get back to where they were previously, they can get back to these highs, then the return on investment there. I've done that for Carnival, for Norwegian, which I've spelt incorrectly, and Royal Caribbean as well. It is a massive assumption to say that they'll get back to where they were, but if history has taught us anything, it's that people's memories are very, very short. Obviously, this is the first thing that attracts me to the investment, the return. Carnival, you're looking at a 700% return. Norwegian, a 710% return. Royal Caribbean, 544% return. So absolutely sky high, astronomical returns. That's the first thing. The second thing that attracted me to the investment, I have mentioned already, and it's shown on screen there. Those three companies are the cruise industry. They say that they operate about 80% of the cruises worldwide, and the other 20% is made up by smaller companies. One of those smaller companies would be TUI, for example, the European travel giant. They operate cruises as well. However, they do it in conjunction with Royal Caribbean. So they are involved in everything in the industry. Without these three companies, there is no cruise industry. What that tends to mean is that Carnival, for example, if they were to go under, if they were to fail as a company, Norwegian and Royal Caribbean would see the direct benefit to that. So Carnival share price drops to zero, the shares in Norwegian and Royal Caribbean would shoot up because they're going to mop up all the extra income, all those extra customers. So that's the second thing. The third thing that I like about this investment is it's a very capital intensive industry, so massive outlay to build the cruise ships, which means these three companies have massive debts with the banks. Because they have those massive debts with the banks, it's almost like a security policy for you as an investor. They already have big loans outstanding. They do have good business models there. historically very profitable companies. But because they already have these loans outstanding, they're going to need more money in the short term. They're going to need loans, they're going to need cash flow to get them through. Nobody is booking cruises just at the moment, and they probably won't do for another couple of months. If the banks, for example, didn't want to lend the money, they're shooting themselves in the foot. If they let all of these companies go under, of course they can seize the assets, the cruise ships, they can take them away and sell them, but without these 3 companies in the market, well, who are you going to sell them to? There's no one to buy cruise ships, no one that kind of capacity. So it's almost like an insurance policy. So what I'll be doing across the next few days is, I have small investments in each of these companies, but I'll be increasing those investments equally across the 3 of them to mitigate my risk. So let me know in the comments below what you think, what you're up to, what trades you're making, what trades you're not making. And as always, like and subscribe.